conversation. Very good conversation.
Yeah, totally. I listened to a couple of the podcasts that you sent me, and one that I remember most, that was profound. I won't go into too much detail, but you had a woman on there where you guys were talking about like hair, natural hair, and feeling comfortable as well as like feminine or not. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so real. Like people need to hear this stuff. Like people really do. And I think people are really going to enjoy it. So make sure y'all tune in the 18th.
Yeah, please do. I'm so excited. And one of the beautiful things about this podcast that you learn about marginalization in general is there are so many marginalized identities, so many that what's always a good sign. I watch a lot of like Shonda Rhimes, like talks and stuff, and she said to have a good show of any kind, you want to be able to have something that you can carry on with for a while. And I know that we had so much like interest for season one from guests and as well as topics and ideas that I had to kind of break into micro topics so that you know what I mean. And
Oh,
we had to push some
wow.
people to season two already. So just so y'all know, it's not like a here today, go tomorrow thing. We are
Right.
starting up season two soon as well for pre-production. So it's exciting, and I
That's
know
so
there's just so
cool.
much to learn. And also I want feedback from audiences about things they'd love to hear about or learn about, because I'm always interested in expanding. So that's something I'm excited about.
That's exciting. Oh my goodness. Yay. So,
No worries.
so have you ever had a brand partnership that didn't necessarily align with your values or like your brand? If not, or if so, like how do you handle those situations or how would you?
Let me tell you, okay, I would probably be, not probably, I would be 100% a millionaire, like multi-millionaire by now, if I took some of the brand deals I was offered. I know only my closest friends know about some of these, but I've turned down some deals that people are like, "You are wild. Like what's going on?" And
Oh wow. Yeah.
yeah, cuz I feel and it's funny because the more I guess like woke or the more I read, the more I learn, it expands the limitations of what deals I really want to take. So I'm like,
Yeah.
dang it, I'm what I'm trying to do now is just focus on a few core beliefs, and enforce those before I keep adding, you know. But yeah, I would say one of the ones that was really a tough one. It was a massive, like I'm talking about like top 10 in the world kind of brand, and it was revolving around charity, right? And I went to a performing arts middle school. I hope to be able to get the opportunity to do this for real, like when the right way.
Yeah.
But they were going to do somewhat of like a sponsorship on my end just for my time, but then a massive like grant type of situation for any type of charitable donation or workshop or anything I wanted to do, um, revolving around the arts. And since I went to a performing arts middle school, and I remember us having to do like a lot of fundraisers and things like that, or like paying in increments for like that year's field trip over time, and that being kind of stressful, I wanted to really get new uniforms, costumes, what have you, for like the dancers at the school, as well as just new equipment and things for the art department. I know they've probably been using like the same pottery ovens and things like that, since I was in middle school. So
Yeah.
just like really help out with the school's infrastructure and get new supplies for the kids. And I just remember the brand was like, "Hey, we want to do this in the summer." I'm like, "How are we going to do this in the summer?" And I can workshop and be able to talk to everybody. If school's not in session,
Yeah, exactly.
they're like, "Okay, maybe you can find a summer camp that you've engaged in." And I was like, I know a camp that I've done, but it was like for computer science, and they have a ton of funding. They're like a community based organization, nonprofit. So like they had a ton of funding. I used to go to like Six Flags every year with that camp and all that. So I was like, no, I really want to do this right. And they weren't trying to do it right. They were trying to do it in their timeline of their
Mm.
budget. And so I turned down a lot of money and a lot of opportunity to help, because I was like, everybody's traveling and we can't do this in July, like
Yeah.
it's going to be really hard to find art students during this time of year. And they weren't trying to do it for college age students. I was like, okay, so I had to pass it up. But that happened a lot,
Oh
especially clothing
wow.
brands too, where like the owners have done things, what have you. And one thing I want to stress to people as well is, with social media, a lot of times people think of us as kind of TV characters or stuck in time, right? And I feel like as people, we 100% evolve and grow. And one of my biggest pet peeves is like when people like, because let's say early on when I was like broke college student, sure, I worked with like the Fashion Novas and that kind of thing. Girl, I was like, girl, I had like $3 a month. You know what I'm saying? I said I needed clothes. I need,
Yeah.
you know, so I don't want
Hmm.
people to ever hear this and go back and look, 7 years ago and be
Right.
like, she's lying or she's. I'm
Right,
like, no, no,
right.
no. There's an evolution to these kinds of things, for sure. And even old makeup tutorials, they'd be like, girl, this looks crazy or whatever.
Aw.
And I'm like, this makeup was bomb at this time. Like this is the best.
Right.
This is high tier makeup for
Exactly.
and even like shade ranges. I know this camera that I'm using now, this new one, I still gotta play with the settings because it's blowing me out a little bit, making me look
Oh no, you look
pretty.
good. You look
Thank
good
you.
still.
But I remember just like not having even a foundation shade at that time, and I know my struggle is nowhere compared to what women with dark skin have endured in terms of shade range.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
being a Caribbean woman as well, as you can tell, and if you see me in my regular YouTube setup, it's like bright in Cali right now. I have very like olive and yellow undertones in my skin. So I remember everything back then was like orange. You had to choose between like being
Yeah.
casket sharp or like Oompa Loompa, and those were your choices as a black woman with makeup. So
Right.
people would look back and be like, "Oh, this is all orange, sis," and I'm like, "So y'all just gonna forget the whole
It
fancy
was
of
with the times. It was with
yeah."
the times.
I was like, this is the best match on the market for
Right.
me. And I was
Aw.
able to afford some of like the more high quality stuff. Like I eventually did get my hands on some like, Mac when I was like a junior in college, but which I also ended up getting to work with them, which was kind of full circle. But yeah, I was like, y'all, I was definitely using drugstore for the beginning of this channel. And they
Aw.
did not have those ranges.
That's
So
funny.
yeah,
Well, that's so,
it's
I
fun.
mean, that's so honorable because it's just like that's what people really appreciate about you. You're just so real. Like you're just candid and honest with
Thank
whatever,
you.
whether it be with makeup, hair, the cosplay, the issues
Mhm.
that you're very passionate about. That
Yeah,
is something that definitely people appreciate about you.
thank you.
So going into music a little bit. So you do music, you've been taking a
Yes.
little break,
Mhm.
but do you have any new music coming up soon?
Yeah, so I actually have like during the pandemic, I wrote so much music and I actually recorded a few things that were like soundtrack demos and things like that. So right now I'm just trying to get a few things cleared because I am independent and I'm also just playing around with production, learning
Oh,
more 'cause I'm very hands-on in a lot of the processes that I do for creativity. So I want to be able to give better instruction or direction whenever I'm working with somebody and be like, hey, actually, can you, increase the mids to that? I want to be able to like really immerse
yes.
deeply in all of that. But music is a really personal process for me, and I feel that I'm one of those people too. I struggle with perfectionism, so I was like, I want to get it right. I want to release it the right way. I want to have ownership of everything, and not have any loose ends, because I know that comes back to bite people in the butt when they don't tie up all their loose ends or anything. So hopefully 2022 we can release some of my, because I have a lot of unreleased music just sitting on my on my phone. So
Ooh.
hopefully 2022 we can get some of that out to the people, some more music videos. Those are always fun and I'm excited.
Yeah, I hope so too. So you have a song, your most recent song is called Unlawful.
Unlawful, and then I have Hereafter, which I did for
Hereafter. Okay.
so Unlawful is definitely my most popular track right now on streaming, but then Hereafter I did in honor of Suicide Prevention Month, and like just for mental health awareness as well.
Wow, that's awesome. And now is your music like more so R&B vibe, chill vibe, or a mix of like everything?
I feel like I'm one of those kids who I listened to everything. I still listen to everything. Like for example, Hereafter, massive Paramore fan, massive. So like I have
Oh
like some
wow.
rock
Okay.
influence on that, but then Unlawful is more like a little bit more soulful, organic instruments, and then Mindful, which is a little bit still some organic instruments, but a little bit more mellow and dreamy. So I feel like I do kind of rest in that R&B
Okay.
region of music. I love R&B. I grew up on R&B, so.
I do too. I love R&B.
Oh, you want to see something funny actually?
Oh yes.
My mom is probably gonna be like, "This is not me," but
Oh
I
no.
have I have this playlist, and I feel like people might find this kind of funny. Just the cover image. All right, let's see. It is called "Waking Up." Here it goes. It's called "Waking Up on Sunday Morning," and literally, it's right now a 6 hour long playlist,
Oh
but it's literally
wow.
because
Oh no. That's
I
so
was like,
random.
I said because it has the guy has the flip flop because on Sunday
Oh, okay,
mornings,
okay.
when that R&B music is playing, your mom's like, "Get up, we scratch the covers, it's time to clean." So
Oh
I have this
gosh.
as like nostalgia of waking up Sunday morning and your mom being like, "All right,
That's funny.
that's
That is so funny. Oh
so
my God. Finally,
funny.
what's up next for you? What goals do you have for the year? Do you have any great things coming up? I know you kind of already we addressed the podcast and some music. Is there anything
Yes.
else that's going on for you?
So many blessings at the top of the year have come through already. I'm really excited. One of the things that I wanted to do was just pivot a little bit and be able to, I'm planning to do this on YouTube as well, so people who follow me on there can look out for this, but just integrating more FX work and creating these experiences, like these like auditory visual experiences for people to be able to immerse themselves in. And it has been just incredible that just in the past, what, one, two, yeah, just in the past 2 weeks, three
Yeah.
different TV networks and shows
Wow.
have come to me, interested in me doing FX style skits, for their show promotion on my platforms. And I was like, yo, this is so much fun. I was
Oh
yesterday
my
writing
gosh.
like three different scripts for some of these promotions, and getting my colorful artistic lights charged up for stuff. And so it gives me a little bit of
Oh.
space to act and space to also integrate my makeup and all that. So I think that's something I'm looking forward to. Again, it's just like really getting into the mainstream media and as far as like FX goes, and being able to just cross that talent over across like a lot of different streams of like media. I'm excited about that for sure.
That is so exciting. Oh my gosh, and only a week into the year.
Yes,
Congrats
I
to
was like,
you.
oh, blessings.
This is your
Thank
year.
you.
Oh my
Oh my gosh, it's
gosh.
so exciting, and I'm one of those people that like since I was that though I have like a lot of siblings, I was raised as the only child in my household, so I feel like one of the blessings about that is anybody who grew up as a predominantly only child, they know you got a imagination on you. Like you're always just thinking about, like I'm one of those people, like I'll think about 5,000 scenarios that'll just like never happen. Like, oh, like what if I close this medicine cabinet and somebody behind me like in the front, like I'll